ever had, simply continues to put roadblocks in front of himself, whether it be, you know, hitting pregnant women with cars, or cocaine problems, or steroid use, or whatever the case may be. He just simply doesn't get it, and that's the saddest part to me about John Jones, is that he has a lot of good people around him. I mean, heck, his father is a pastor, and he's got Super Bowl champion brothers in Chandler and Arthur Jones, who have had successful careers in the National Football League. And John Jones has continued to screw it up year after year, to the point where even defenders of him, like myself, we can't defend him anymore. Like,
Right.
we cannot defend what John Jones
Right.
does. So Tyson Fury is a self-made train wreck, a lot like John Jones. But I think Tyson Fury can eventually find himself back. But John Jones has been away from the sport, found himself back, got to the very top of the game again, and then finds himself, away from the sport again. And who knows, this time maybe for good, given his age, now that he is age 30, and he's potentially staring down a 4-year violation, a 4-year suspension for his second violation of PED use. But his case will be heard in December. But no, it's definitely John Jones for me, just because of the pure God-given talent that he has and has wasted over the last several years. So his is a story that it's just sad to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is. It truly is. It's like, and this dude wins belts, and then you got to have it stripped away. I mean, like, really?
Yeah. Been stripped on multiple occasions. For just stupid stuff. Like, you out here, having cocaine-filled parties. You out here hitting pregnant women with cars. You out here just doing all kinds of just stupid stuff that has nothing to do with your ability to literally destroy people in the octagon. And it's just sad. It's just a sad story that folks are just tired of. And until John Jones decides to look in the mirror one day and decides to, stop doing what he's doing, then this is just going to be what it is for him.
Yeah. Hey man, who was your teams? I don't know that now. You're a Cowboys fan?
Oh yeah, longtime Cowboy fan. My uncle, who just recently passed away, was a defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys in the late 60s and 70s. His name was Willie Towns. He played under Tom Landry. Actually played in the Ice Bowl way back when, against the Green Bay Packers. So that was passed down to me as a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm a huge New York Yankee fan. Been a Yankee fan. I'm 30 years old now. I've been a Yankee fan since 1995. So I love my New York Yankees. Let's see, who else?
You must be a Lakers fan too, huh?
Oh no, heck no.
I'm just going along the narrative of all America's teams.
No. That's funny you say that, because I've never have had an NBA team per se. I've always been more of a fan of individual players versus teams. I never really identified with an NBA team per se. And it's funny you said the Lakers, because back in the early 2000s when they were having their battles with the Sacramento Kings, I was rooting for the Kings because I couldn't stand the Lakers. I just could not stand, not that I didn't have respect for Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal in their greatness, but I just could not get down with Los Angeles. So I was rooting for the Kings to beat the Lakers way back then during those epic battles that they had. But no, I'm a huge basketball fan, but more so with individual players versus entire teams. So, love what LeBron James does and represents for the league and for himself and his communities. But as far as teams are concerned, they don't necessarily have an NBA team, but I love all sports. So you'll find me watching Soccer, I'm a huge Manchester United fan. I'm a huge. Before Jeff Gordon retired, I was a huge NASCAR fan. I don't watch too much NASCAR um, these days, but
What about college
um,
football?
I love college football. So I went to the University of Missouri, so I'm a huge Tiger fan. And before that, um, was a huge Florida State fan. I don't know why I identified with Florida State, but I just loved everything that Bobby Bowden and guys like Peter Warwick and Warwick Dunn and all those guys represented at Florida State. So I've always loved the Seminoles and what they represented over the years. So yeah, but my alma mater is the University of Missouri in Columbia, so I'm a huge Tigers fan. We've had a pretty bad season under Barry Odom, our head coach there, so things might be needing to change at a head coaching position down there. But yeah, no, I just love sports. I love competition in general. So it's one of those things where, as part of our show, when you hear me talking about these things, it's from a very real and passionate perspective. And I'm fans of these teams. I don't apologize for that, and I watch these games and enjoy them
Did you
just
play
like
anything?
anybody else. So I used to play. So I played baseball from the time I was 5 to the time I was 18. I missed a year because I had injured my leg, but I was a pretty good baseball player growing up. Never decided to walk on or anything because once I got to college, the competition is extremely stiff, and I was ready to do something a little bit different. But I was a pretty good baseball player. That was actually my first love. Baseball is actually my first love. So I was born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri, and of course we have not only the Kansas City Royals, but the Negro League Museum is also in Kansas City, Missouri, and some great baseball history that we've seen over the years in Kansas City with the Kansas City Monarchs and the history that resides with that team. Of course, Jackie Robinson at one point playing for the Kansas City Monarchs. So baseball was actually my first love and played for a long time. I still enjoy the game and that's always been my first love for sure. But baseball, football, basketball, golf when Tiger Woods was doing his thing. It's ironic he's coming back later on this year. And then, of course, the story with the Williams sisters doing their thing in tennis over the last, 15, 20 years has been fun to watch. But if it's a sport, I'm pretty much watching. My wife gives me a hard time because, sports, it seems like never ends in this house because we go from one season to the next.
Right. Hey, pause right quick. Somebody check on Rough Buff right now. I see it's 24/7 right now. He's really quiet right now. I haven't seen him in about an hour in this chat room. So he came in talking real cash mess, and then next thing I know, he went real quiet. So I don't know what happened with Rough Buff. Rough Buff has vanished. Somebody check on him. Somebody call him. Yeah, man.
Matt Forte just put on a move on somebody to score a touchdown to.
Yeah,
we 24/7.
Yeah, man, we a rough bunch in here, man. We take our sports real serious here, man. There's a lot of a lot of craziness here, man. I ain't even gonna address Dollars, man. He's just Falcon heckling up in here, so that's taking me off topic here. So I ain't even trying not to pay attention and type to him because that's all he in here doing and heckling. So I'm gonna heckle in the middle of your mixes. How about that? When you mix, and I'm gonna just jump in the middle of your mixes and be like, play that hammer, play that Vanilla Ice, man. What's up with that Vanilla Ice? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do that. Now what? Anyway. So we pretty much hit everything. Now, what made you go to SoundCloud with your podcast? We like I said, a lot of us are Spreaker people, but and SoundCloud is the other platform. So there's a lot of podcasters on SoundCloud, a lot of people on Spreaker. I'm just curious on what made you choose SoundCloud as your choice.
The platform was, to be honest, I didn't know about Spreaker. Like I did not know anything about Spreaker until getting obviously a part of X-Squad and hearing some of shows like BS3 Sports. Shout out to Ben Sutter the third down here in
shout out to Ben
in Dallas. his show was the first show that I saw that was on Spreaker. So I had been using SoundCloud for quite a while before even coming across Spreaker. So the platform is really user friendly, and I found that a lot of folks who have podcasts that I listen to um, in the spare time that I have are on SoundCloud also. So, and then once I started publishing my own, I found that the platform was very, very easy to use and transferable to iTunes and other places where could upload podcasts. So,
right.
That was kind of the origins of using SoundCloud in their platform. So, but no, listening to shows on Spreaker, the shows sound amazing, and if I had discovered Spreaker before SoundCloud, I'm sure I would be using Spreaker myself. So.
And the crazy, most of them people are just straight live, man. I mean, they just connect and go. That's how it is. It's crazy, but yeah, it also it has a very good interface to you know what I'm saying, broadcast. You got your playlist thing that goes on. You got effects built in. You got your built-in chat room. You can bring levels up and down certain things, bring in this, fade out that, et cetera, et cetera. So it's real cool with that. And then also, as you stream, it actually will put that out to iHeartRadio, or the RSS feed is also readily sendable for TuneIn. I mean for TuneIn and Apple Podcasts, aka iTunes, Google Play, all those things too. So yeah, and also YouTube and SoundCloud. It actually will feed to those two automatically with just a click of a button. So anyway, it's cool, man. It's cool. I think the cost of close to the same, maybe like $10 to $15 a month for certain the basic packages or whatever. I think mine might be $20 a month for. I get 500 hours of a show, which I still, after 3 years, haven't reached yet. So once I get close to it, I'm just gonna delete like all my 3-year-old shows and continue on. I'm like, why would I want more storage space, man? I don't care. Once you go hear my old shows, it's like, why? It felt like I've grown past that, you know what I'm saying? When I first started podcasting, my show was 30 minutes long, and it was just like, it's just certain elements that I've grown past from when I first started 3 years ago. So, yeah. That was pre-X Squad Affiliates days, So. Yeah, man. We all kind of grew up. We all kind of started this podcast thing together and kind of grew up together doing this thing. All of us, actually, it's a crazy thing. We actually were all Doug Stewart listeners. So being in his show as live audience, I don't know, at some point we were like, hey, maybe we should try this podcasting thing. And that's how we ended up trying it on our own. And then after that, just like it grew, and then we met other people in the chat rooms and all that stuff. You know what I mean? The chat room pretty much built families and groups, and that's how the X Squad Affiliates actually was birthed out of their chat room. Crazy, right? But that's how it happened, man. It's really crazy. That's how it happened. It was birthed out of the chat room, man. Out of Doug Stewart's chat room, man. I mean, shout out to him. He ain't X Squad affiliate, but he's responsible for us putting together X Squad affiliate. Sounds crazy, but that's how it happened, man.
And joining and being a part of the X Squad affiliates, I can tell that it truly is a family feel for everyone in the X Squad. So as far as the meetings and the conversations and the care for each of the individuals and personalities within the X Squad, it's been built with love and care over the last several years that you all have put that together. So I'm just happy that we are a part of this movement as far as the X Squad is concerned. So it's exciting to just be a part of the actual network and partnering with folks like yourself